Intelligence is not knowledge. If you could read all the books in the world, it would not give you intelligence. Intelligence is something very subtle. It has no anchorage. It comes into being only when you understand the total process of the mind. Not the mind according to some philosopher or teacher, but your own mind. Your mind is the result of all humanity, and when you understand it, you don't have to study a single book because the mind contains the whole knowledge of the past. So intelligence comes into being with the understanding of yourself. And you can understand yourself only in relation to the world of people, things, and ideas. Intelligence is not something that you can acquire, like learning. It arises with great revolt. That is, when there is no fear, which means really when there is a sense of love. For when there is no fear, there is love. Today is October 28th, 2025. Welcome to the Krishnamurti podcast. We shall continue discussing or listening rather to the 10th talk at Ommen, Holland by jkrishnamurti. Now, if you think about your economic act, it is all based on self-preservation. In business, in the acquisition of property, power. There you are acting through a particular idea, and therefore your action is always conforming. Economically, your idea is to exploit and to be exploited. That is, to lay up for yourself in the future a certain amount of money so that you will have security. Where there is security, there must be authority and hence power, inheritance, etc. So you have established what the end is, and you are acting according to that idea, which you call business, but which is self-preservation. So our action is not natural. I am using the word natural in what is to me the right sense of the word. That is, that action is independent. So our action is not natural. I am using the word natural in what is to me the right sense of the word. That is, that action is independent. It is not complete, not harmonious. You say, I must earn, otherwise society will destroy me. I must lay up for the future, otherwise who will look after me in my old age? There must be inheritance, otherwise I cannot transmit what I have gained to my son. All this is based on the idea of self-preservation, handing down your name, the things you have accumulated, etc. So your action is always being limited, is independent of what you think and feel. Like the man who says, bread first. So you say, let me act so as to have security, power, and then I will act differently, socially, spiritually. So what have you established? You have established what you think is the finality of an economic goal, and you are working towards that all the time. So your action is all the time an imitation, a conformity. Therefore, you are not, from my point of view, acting. That is, you are not a complete being in your business. Again, socially, we are trying to fit into a pattern, and therefore our action is but conformity. Or we have certain ideas of class distinction, and we are acting according to that distinction. That is, socially we are making ourselves, by our actions, perfect machines, cogs, that will fit into the social mechanism without the least conflict. So our action is disharmonious. We may think differently. We may earn, do business differently. But we are trying all the time to cover all this up and fit in socially. So, again, our action is disharmonious. And to me, such action is not a true act. Then again, religiously, spiritually, or ethically, we are all the time afraid. Our actions, that is, our thinking and our feeling, are born of fear. All our religious ceremonies, our offerings to gods, and our spiritual authority, all that is self-immolation, which we think will bring about right balance. Because I have been cruel, therefore I am going to be cruel to myself, hoping that will bring about right balance in your thought. Or having an idea of what God, truth is, and acting according to that idea. So when you look to your action, you will see that your business action, your social action, and your religious actions have nothing to do with it. They indicate, in a very subtle sense, that you want to preserve yourself as an entity. So let's take a breather here and try to digest what has been going on so far in terms of my reading and you listening in. He is talking about self-preservation in business, in the acquisition of property, power, self-preservation in terms of inheritance, giving something back to my son or what have you, and trying to fit into society. So let's continue with the reading for a little longer and we shall end this podcast. We have intellectually said that self-preservation is very selfish. So though we go on earning, exploiting, and being exploited, we are all the time covering that up and spiritually running away into truth. Again, we have intellectually said that self-preservation is very selfish. So though we go on earning, exploiting, and being exploited, we are all the time covering that up and spiritually running away into truth. So our actions are not harmonious. And you will only understand that action which is complete and therefore infinite. When you do your business, your social activity, your religious idea as a whole thing, then you are a complete human being. That means that one has to think quite differently and to feel quite differently from the way in which we are accustomed to. So, this podcast will continue in the next episode. This is episode 94. And in the next episode, we shall continue from here and try to understand further what Krishnamurti means by infinite action. If you have listened to the prior episodes, you will know that, already know that by complete action, by completeness of action, Krishnamurti means engaging mind and heart, both emotion and intellect, not just intellect, not just emotion, and destroying without conquering. There is a subtle difference. Getting past without conquering, through awareness, getting past various barriers or hindrances which limit action. Examples are fear, security, authority, tradition, prejudice, and postponement that he gave in his fourth talk in Italy, Alpino. Those are the talks before he moved to Ommen, Holland, where he gave a series of 12 talks. This is the 10th talk that we are listening to. Thank you. You have a nice day.